What is up, everyone? Welcome to the next episode of the JSON API shenanigans in Golang, where we build a complete JSON API. We're going to build a bank in Golang. We're going to test all the stuff. We're going to use JWT, Postgres, the whole shebang. Let us quickly check where we are. API. So we have our API, which basically, let's open up thingy. Tender client, right? I'm going to open up Tender client so we can see where we are. Let's first of all make run this thing, right? So our API server is running at port 3000. That's fine. Then we're going to say HTTP localhost 3000, and we're going to say account like this, right? I think it's going to work perfectly fine. Yes, we have a list of accounts, a whole lot of bullshit. Junk in it, but it is what it is. So what we're gonna do, we have this number, it's a bank account number, and what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna implement our JWT out in this episode. We're gonna protect some of the endpoints, because of course we have this get accounts function, like endpoint. This one is basically for admins, right? It's just for demonstration purposes right now. But let's say somebody wanna fetch his account to retrieve his balance, right? Then right now everybody can do it, right? For example, I can check the balance of user ID 8, right? You see, boom, I have the complete thing. But that's not correct, right? Because I shouldn't be able to do that. Only the user with ID 8 or that bank account number or that name with that token can do that. That's what we're going to implement. We're going to protect the routes, because we're going to transfer also later on, and we need to make sure that only the person that wants to transfer can execute the transfer, right? So, yes, let's open up API real quick. Let's open up another thingy. I think store. Do we need that? I don't think so. We don't need store. So let's use one file for now. What is going on here? Let's save this file. Okay, everything is fine. Cool. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to make, at the bottom, we have API func and everything. We're going to make a function, and we're going to call this with JWT out, right? Sticky icky. With JWT out, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a handler func here, which is going to be an HTTP handler func like this, and this will also return an HTTP handler func. We're going to do some decorator shenanigans. And we're going to say return me a function, which is going to be in W, which is an HTTP response writer, like this. We're going to also have a pointer to an HTTP request, like this. What's going on? Request, right? And what we're going to do is we can actually type here to demonstrate fmt println. We're going to say calling JWT out middleware, right? It's gonna be a middleware pattern, and then we're gonna execute the function we give it, which is the handler func, right? And we're gonna say handler func, and we're gonna give it W and the response writer, and everything is fine. So how we're gonna test this is basically let's say we wanna protect this function, right? This get ID, like I mentioned, this account where we fetch all the accounts and we create accounts does not need to protect it. This get account is basically just for us to check. We can actually delete that later on if we want. But I want to protect this /ID, right? So how are we going to do this? We're going to say with JWT out, the function we just created, and we're going to wrap that in like this, right? And if we basically make run, did I close the request? Oh, okay, it's fine. So I'm going to say make run, and I'm going to open up this request, and I'm going to send this. Oh, yeah, what's going on here? Calling JWT out middleware only once. That's not the correct thing I want to see. Oh, yeah, it's making this. I see. What is going on? Yeah. Let's do this. Right. My bad. So, let's restart it. Of course, we just print it out when we create this function. That's not the behavior we want. So let's go to request once again. Let's open up our terminal and let's try it again. So you see each time we send a request, we are calling the JWT out middleware. So it's actually already kind of working. So now we need to have a way to actually check the token for validation, right? So how we're going to do this is basically, let's go back to API. Is a function we're going to create, and I'm going to call this validate JWT. Like this is going to return, I think it's going to return a JWT token, or what's it going to do? Let me quickly think. It could be a point, first of all, let's install JWT before we do this stuff. I already have this file open. It's going to be JWT, Golang JWT package. Let's go to overview. Let's see how we need to do this. What's going on here? Overview, documentation, readme maybe. Expand. Man, give me the import path. Yes. So we're gonna go get this thing, copy. Go get. Let's close all these things up. Clear the screen. Man, what's going on? Copy, paste. Let's go get this, and then we're gonna use this import path. I'm gonna use this, copy, go to the top, paste it in, and then prefix it with JWT because it's using this v4, this versioning system. So we need to prefix it so we can actually call it with JWT, right? So what we're gonna do, what's going on with these mouse cursors, man? They are really annoying me. So yes, validate JWT. I think we're gonna return a JWT token, an error. Like, what's going on here? Man, juggling around. So we're gonna validate JWT. What we're gonna do is give it a token string, which is gonna be a string. And yeah, let's see how we can validate this stuff. Simple example. You see token string quickly is going to be this, and this, and then the claims, we don't need that. We're going to copy this, paste it in. Yeah, so we need a secret, right? And what I'm going to do, don't do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say a const, which is going to be the JWT secret. And I'm going to say it's going to be a hunter 999. Right, that's our secret. Of course, we need to read the secret out of our environment, right? And listen carefully. You need to call this secret out of our environment. And actually, I'm going to do it because otherwise, I don't want to... Actually, to be honest, export... Not because otherwise, export JWT secret. Like this is going to be hunter... And don't use hunter, right? Use something else. Use something very, very safe. Very long, very safe, right? We're going to call this hunter 999, right? Like this. Yeah, fine. So we're going to delete this. We're going to have this function here. We can actually return the whole shebang, right? We're going to return that. We could say that the secret is going to be, let's get env, is it this? JWT secret, like that. And then we're going to actually use the secret here, but it needs to be a byte. So we're going to say a byte of the secret. Like this. You're gonna do a %3. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Don't worry about that. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna return. Is validate. So what we're gonna do here is we're calling the middleware. First of all, we're gonna say that the token error is gonna be validate JWT, and we're gonna say that the token string is gonna be vars mux vars the request. And we're going to say, no, it's not. I'm stupid. It's going to be the token string. It's going to be the rec header get. So we're going to get the headers. And we're going to say x JWT token. Something like that. You can set whatever you want. And we're going to say token string. What's going on here? Like this. If there is an error, and that error is not nil, we're gonna return, so we don't execute the rest of the code. And we're gonna say, write JSON w HTTP status. I'm gonna say forbidden or something, and then you could say an API error, and we're gonna say that the error is gonna be invalid token or something. I don't know. But what we also could do is basically do this, paste it in here, and say if len token. So actually, do we need to check that? I mean, it's going to be an invalid token anyway, right? It's going to be an invalid token anyway. It doesn't matter, right? So we could already test this, right? So let's make run. Let's open up this request real quick. We're going to try to fetch account 8, and it's going to tell us calling JWT middleware, and it's going to say invalid token, right? Because we don't set the headers. I think I already set one. No, I didn't. So I'm going to say x API, no, JWT token in the header. No, what am I doing? X JWT token, like this, and we're going to say, for example, here we could put in some junk, which is clearly not the JWT token, but we're going to send, and it's going to say it's going to be an invalid token anyway, right? So that's cool. What's going on here? All right. If we have a token, yada, 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 but we will not have a token because we need to create one. When are we creating one? Well, I think if we create a user, that could be one of our best opportunities. So, where do we create a user? Handle account. Handle create account. Let's go GD into this. We are already at that function. So we're going to create that account. All good. That's the first thing we're going to do. And then we're going to generate the JWT token. So we're going to say that the token string error is going to be create JWT. And we're going to put in the account that we just created, right? And we're going to say if there is an error, and that error is not nil, we're going to just return the error and call it a day, right? Create JWT doesn't exist, so let's create this real quick. Get ID, validate JWT. Where are we going to place it? Maybe here, func create JWT, an account. It's going to be a pointer to an account. We're going to return a pointer to a JWT token. We're going to return an error, like this. How are we going to make that token? I have no clue. We're going to look that up. Overview. Building and signing a token. Look at this. Custom claims. I'm going to use a standard claim. So you can actually make your own claims and all that stuff. But hey, that's out of scope. It's actually easy to do that, guys. Don't worry about it. What we're going to do is this one. Right? We're going to say standard claims. Yeah, let's copy this. Right? Let's copy and paste. Boom. So we're going to create our claims. We should have an expiry because you could check the expiry stuff and everything. It is what it is. We don't gonna use an issuer. I think you're gonna say, do we want the standard claims? Anyway, you're gonna say the account number. How is it actually? Is that a thing? Number. Yeah, it doesn't exist. How is it actually? Wait. Map claims. Expires that. Sometimes, guys, you see, you cannot know everything, right? But you just need to think about, let it work. Try some stuff. Experiment. Wait, so we have this account number. We're going to say account number like this. It's going to be the account number. This expires that. I don't think you're going to use it for now. So we have some claims. New with claims. Yeah. So this is the thingy. We're going to actually return the whole shebang. Return token signed string. My signing key. That's a problem. What we're going to do is the secret is going to be OS get env JWT secret and put the secret in here. Something is wrong, I know, but I don't know what it is. I see it. It doesn't. It just returns a string. Okay. I'm fine with that. Yes, so we're gonna do this. That's fine. Let's. I always like to basically leave some space between my return statement. The same with here. I don't know. It's an OCD. Don't worry about it. Okay, cool. So we can create a JWT. Create. Let me find where I'm doing this thing. Create JWT here. Okay, cool. Token string. And let's print out this token string here. Println. We're going to say JWT token. Which is already, actually, what's going on here? JWT token. Let's make this. And then we're going to put in the token string like that, right? Alright, so that's cool. I think it's going to work. And if it's not, then we're going to make it work, right? Make run. We're going to do a new request here. And we need to make a post request to account. We don't need to, actually this token is not needed. It doesn't matter because we don't read it if we just posting. It doesn't matter. We're going to put the body. And we're going to say that I think it's a first name. First name is going to be, of course, Anthony GG. And the last name is going to be DM. I'm going to post this. The keys of invalid type. I know why that is. Because create JWT. Where are we doing this? Create JWT. Yeah, here. So the secret needs to be a byte, right? So we read it from the amp, which is a string, but we can actually convert this to a byte real quick. Is this. Right, we do this, and then that. Right, now we're going to reset this thing, make run once again, hop. Open up this request, hop. And then actually, hop. And then we're going to do, we're going to send this. Right, okay, cool. So, there are a couple of things, right? There are a lot of options you can do. You can store the JWT. People can refresh that JWT. All these mechanics, I know. But for now, we're going to just print it out. You could return that basically as a response. So people can grab that JWT, store that somewhere on the client. I don't know what you can do with it. It is what it is. You can do a lot of things. For now, we just print this JWT out here. So we're going to copy this bad boy. What's going on here? How do I do this actually? Just this and then probably Control C, which I'm on Windows. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. What's going on? And then we're gonna say, let's do this. Let's do this, and I'm gonna yank this. Actually, can I do this? Yank it, yeah. Okay. So now let's go to. Man, I'm confused. Yes, the standard client, that's what we need. Okay, so if I'm, let's do accounts. Let's get all the accounts because that's not protected, just for the sake of debugging. So okay, we're here. Anthony GGDM, that's me. ID 10. And we have our bank account number. What we're gonna do is try to fetch ID 10. That's not gonna work, right? Boom. You see, invalid token. So what we're gonna do is paste in a token. That's what we're gonna do. Paste in the token, send it. Okay, so now we have a valid token, but this is not protected yet, right? Because everybody with a valid token can just paste it in and it works perfectly fine. We cannot do that. So what we're gonna do is you could actually store the JWT and then you could fetch it by JWT and then compare the user IDs. That's actually a good approach, to be honest. Actually, that's maybe the best approach. There are a lot of approaches you can actually do. I remember when what I do is basically store the JWT token at the user, and then if somebody does a request, then I'm fetching the user from the database by the JWT. Then I'm basically getting the claims of that JWT, and I'm comparing the user ID with the ID and the claims. And if these are basically the same, then I'm basically 100% sure that the guy sending the request is exactly the ID he's trying to fetch, which basically means that he can allow to see that kind of data he's willing to retrieve. I'm not quite sure why I'm doing it differently. I think maybe the next episode we will refactor this so we can store the JWT, but this is just to set things up, right? Validate JWT. Here. Well, it's actually validating the JWT token itself. Where is with JWT? Here, with JWT out. So this is the token. This is going to be the token. What we're going to do then is basically say that the claims is going to be token claims, and we need to cast this as an interface, right? It's going to be a JWT map claims. That's what we're using, and then we can say. You see, we have a problem, right? Because we're gonna fetch. Yeah, we have a little problem. We can actually print out these claims, to be honest. FMT println the claims, because we could do. Wait, I'm thinking. Because we could do a prefetch in with JWT. Yeah. We need to store that. That's the best approach, because otherwise we need to do this, right? Listen. We need to do this. So we could say, for example, that the account R. First of all, the ID string, right? It's going to be mux vars request. And we're going to say ID, right? Then we're going to say, do we have a get ID? I remember from previous episode we have get ID with R. Look at this. What a gamer. And then we're going to say account R is going to be. We don't have the server here. We don't have the server here to get to access to a database. What we could do is we could do nasty stuff. Okay, so now I'm choking. You see? This is raw and uncut content. You know what I mean? I could easily pre-do all this stuff and then just make sure that everything works perfectly fine, but you're not going to learn anything about it because you're not going to learn how to solve problems you encounter, how to think, what to do. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing as boxing. Yeah, you can box against a boxing bag, like a punch bag, and you can do all these nice combinations like slip, slip, boom, pats, pats. You know what I mean? But then in a real fight, you're gonna choke because this guy is not standing still. You know what I mean? This guy is maybe larger, taller. He's doing some crazy stuff. He's the I don't know. He's the last windbender, and you're choking because you're used to punching. You're used to punching a boxing bag, right? That's all the other tutorials. They teach you how to punch a boxing bag. I'm teaching you how to go into the cage, right? How to go into the cage and clap fucking cheeks. That's what I'm teaching you, right? And now I'm choking myself. All right, so there's a lot of things that's the problem. So why are we in the most important thing is to understand what's going on. What's the problem? The problem is that we are in with JWT out, right? We already have a way to fetch the JWT token, right? We validate that if the guy has an API header x JWT token, right? We get the token and we do some validations, right? That's what we do. And actually what we could do is let me go back quickly to validate JWT because I remember token valid, yeah. We can do also this real quick. If token valid right, if it's an invalid token, then we're gonna return invalid token. Double check, right? So we can fetch the token, we can check if it's valid, and then we can access the claims, right? I'm gonna show you this. Why is token valid not working actually? What is this? It's a bool. Oh, it's a non-function, eh? Hey, it's this. Who's doing this? Yeah. Then we have the claims, right? Let me show you what the claims look like. So let's do this and then make run. Right, so it's running. We're gonna do a new request. We're gonna boom, boom, and then we're gonna see what's going on, right? So fetch the token, validate the JWT token, all fine, and then we're gonna unsign it, right? Like decode it, like decrypt it with our signing key, which is basically in the env, right? The hunter whatever thing. Use something much better. And then we can see that we have our claims, which we set at the creation of our user, and we can see that this is the account number, right? Which exactly is this account number. So we know it's valid, but we cannot validate it in our function. Why? Because we need our database, right? We need our database. Because what we need to do is actually the best way to do is account R is going to be a storage which we don't have access to. That's the first problem. And we're going to say get user by JWT, whatever, by JWT token or something, right? Like this. We're going to put in the token in here. We're going to check the error, you know what I mean? Error shenanigans. And then we have the account, right? And then we're going to check the claims here. And then we're going to say if claims, that's the ID of the user. I think that's the best thing. Equals the account ID, which should be, because otherwise we cannot fetch this guy, but hey, no, that's not true. Actually, I'm making a mistake. I'm so sorry that I'm doing this on the fly. What we're gonna do is fetch the user by the ID. No. What we could do is check if the ID of the claims is the same as the user account we just fetched, which should be. And then we're going to check if the request ID is requesting, right? The mux vars thingy. The ID, which basically is this one. This account / ID, right? This thing. Or I think it's this in mux, right? We're going to check if that's the same. If that's the same, then he has access. That's what we're going to do. But the problem is that we don't have access to it. So how are we going to fix this? That's a good question. We need access in this with JWT out to our database. Right, our server has a DB, right? This is a store thingy. That's our storage. That's fine. So we could actually say with JWT out, and then we have a handler func, but we could also say that we add as store inside of this function. Yeah. Which is going to be a storage. Right? That's what you could do. I think it's everything. Is it working? Probably not. I think we had some mistakes with JWT out. Handler func. This one. And this one. Yeah, yeah. Now it's fine. Now it's fine. That's what we could do. I think that's fine because we need to have access to our storage. Yeah. That's the first thing. And luckily storage is basic. If you want to test this with JWT out, luckily storage is an interface, right? So you can actually put a mock in it, and you can test it with a breeze. And walk in the park. No dependency whatsoever. With JWT out. Validate JWT. We're actually testing this. This one. Storage. Right. So we could do it like this actually. You could say account R is going to be S get account by ID. And what we could do is use the mux ID, right? So let's do it like this. The user ID is going to be get ID, which is our helper function that will get the ID from request. And then we're going to say by user ID, this one, if there is an error, right? The first thing we're going to do is basically return this. I think if you do, a very important thing is that if you do, this is actually very important, I'm going to say. If you do security, if you want to protect your system, never ever ever return errors that hints a hacker what to do. Right? You could say invalid token is an invalid token. He knows that he has an invalid token because he doesn't has the valid token. But if you're going to say user does not exist, ID does not exist, then you're hinting the hacker, right? So make this hacker. The best thing you can actually do, invalid token is in my opinion already too much, right? Access denied. To be honest, it's already too much. Don't give anything for free. Just say access denied. Access denied. Permission denied is maybe better. You're gonna say permission denied, and we could make a nice function that we can return that returns the same function. What you could do this. You could copy this if you want. Permission denied all the time, right? But that's actually bad. So what you could do is, for example, make something like permission denied. HTTP response writer. And you could copy this, right? I guess that returns an error, that's fine. So you could do permission denied W, permission denied, right? Never hint something. Permission denied. Call it a day. What you could do is log, right? You could log here to your Grafana or your Elasticsearch or something, or whatever, your Datadog, whatever you're using. You could log what's actually going on. What's the real error? Because otherwise you cannot debug. But user errors, be very careful, right? What's going on with this get ID? Two variables. It's probably an error, right? The same thing, if error is not nil. Permission denied. W. What's going on? Return. Like this. The whole security thingy. We're gonna fetch this, the same thing. If an error, log to your Elasticsearch, but just say this. And then we're gonna say, so we're gonna get the account based on the ID, right? If this is an account and we say if account number, just in our case, it's better to do it with ID, but hey, is not the account we fetched. No, it's not the claims number, right? Or we still have our claims here. Account number. Permission denied. What's going on here? Do we have claims actually? Token. Let's get the claims here. We're going to say claims. It's going to be JWT token claims actually. I'm gonna cast this to JWT map claims, right? JWT map claims, which is this, and then we're actually gonna say, what's going on here with this mouse thing, man? We're gonna say, yeah, this one, right? I'm gonna make run, open up a new request, and hopefully it works. Permission denied. Okay, cool. That's bad. Why is this? Wait, let me quickly first of all check this real quick. Let's panic here to see if we are if we get to here. That's very important. Quickly debugging. Make run. Oh, I was thinking about using Postman. Okay, so we are panicking. That's fine. So now I know that everything works until here, right? A small breakpoint real quick. So get account by ID. That's maybe a problem. We could do here. We could do a panic account real quick to see if it's the account issue. Make run. Could be. Again, it's this one. Boom. Yeah, we fetched the account. That's fine. So we get the account. So I think we're gonna print out the claims. Real quick. Let's print out the claims real quick. Make run. Open up request. Do it again. Boom. Account number. That's going to be a string. That's the problem. Or not. Or not. Let's do this, right? Reflect type of claims account number. Panic this. I want to see what basically the type is of this thing. I think it's a float 64. It's due to basically Golang's interface map thing. I don't understand why this is float 64. Oh, guys, that's why, you see, that's why I'm doing this reflect, because I knew the case was smelling. I knew something was stinking. It's gonna be a float 64. That's crazy. I'm gonna lie. So we know that. That's actually so disgusting. This is disgusting. Not gonna lie. So let's do int. We cannot do that. Cannot convert. It's an interface. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do? Ah, damn. It's gonna be, oh, nasty. Look at this. We're gonna do guys. We're gonna do this. It's N64, this guy. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna do this. This is hacking. Hacking your own system. Alright. It's working perfectly fine. So what's going on? Because it looks nasty, but that's classical Go. So why? Why is this? Well, and that's why you could use your own claims. If you use your own claim structure, then you don't need to use this JWT standard claim map, which is basically just a map. And I think if it's an, I think Golang will basically just, if you put something to the map, it will basically make it a float 64. I don't know why. I don't think, we never specified it. We never hinted it, but it just Golang is doing it because it's a generic map. It will do it float 64. I don't know why this JWT package is doing that, but hey. How can we solve this? Just like I solved it. Or what you could do is basically create your own claims structure with predefined types, so you don't have this issue. Right? You could use this custom claims, map claims. You see, let's read this map claims. It does a default JSON thing. That's why it's a float 64. Right, it's just disgusting. It is what it is. But you can use your own claims, and then the problem is solved. Right. All right. So yes. So what we're gonna do is, I think we can make this better in the next episode. We're gonna basically store the JWT so we can fetch by JWT, because right now we're all fetching somebody else's account, which I don't. This is for my. It's basically secure, but not secure enough for me. Right. So in the next episode we're gonna fix this. We're gonna upload. We're gonna transfer money, and then we're almost at the end. Right. So thanks for watching. If you like the content I'm providing to you, subscribe to my channel. Leave questions in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Jump into the Discord where we are providing value, where I'm turning you from a software engineer to a high value software engineer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.